Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and we are live right now, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, this is the power of the internet. You could literally be in the UK, you could be in Africa, you could be in India, and I'm right now sitting on a laptop in my kitchen at the kitchen table, and I can broadcast to the entire world without doing any three-way phone calls, without doing any home parties, without having to harass my friends and family. And tonight, I'm going to share with you how I was able to start a business for less than $4,000, and in 30 days, the very first 30 days, make $43,000 on Facebook. Now, here's the cool thing. I didn't spend a penny on paid ads, guys, okay? I didn't run Facebook ads. I didn't do solo ads. I didn't run any banners. I used a couple little tiny secrets that I share with my students so that they can 10x and start scaling up their income so that the business pays for their marketing instead of their credit cards, instead of their savings accounts, which typically, if you've ever listened to other seven-figure income earners, typically they tell you two things. They tell you to upgrade and they tell you to buy traffic. And I'm telling you that, my friends, is the ticket to bankruptcy. If you ever hear somebody say those words to you, you want to run as fast as you can, because they are literally going to take everything that you've got from your savings account, your credit cards, and it does not work. I'm telling you. I got calls this last year, so many, I'm talking dozens and dozens of calls from people that were as much as $60,000 to $108,000 in the hole, and they were literally on the verge of bankruptcy, asking me for help. Darren, can you help me? What do I do? We're literally on the verge of going bankrupt because we followed one of these people that told us to upgrade and buy more traffic. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes. I'm going to share with you some of the psychology. I'm going to share with you some of the places where people make big mistakes online and what you need to be able to do so that you can start 10xing and scaling up your income to that higher level that a lot of people dream about. Now, here's the cool thing, guys. I knew that I was going away on vacation last month, right? I was going to go to Maui and visit my parents for 2 weeks. So my flight was scheduled for the 4th, and on the 3rd, I did a launch event, and I created a cloned copy of myself using the internet, using a Google Hangout, just like the one that you're seeing right now. And it was my clone that actually made the money. While I was sitting by the pool, while I was golfing with my mom and dad, my business was cranking out sales. One day sitting by the pool, I did $9,000 in sales. And one day while I was golfing, I made $6,000 in sales. So what I'm going to share with you today is actually the seven-figure secrets, the real seven-figure secrets. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to actually hear from a couple of my students that are on the broadcast with me today. We've got Andy Bimji on the line here, and we've got Seth Collett on the line as well with us. You're going to be able to hear from them later on in the broadcast. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes to share with you exactly how this works, why it works, the psychology behind how it works and why it works. And I can tell you that it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what your sex, race, or religion is. If you follow these strategies, if you follow this formula, You will literally never, ever have to worry about money ever again for the rest of your life, okay? And I don't say that lightly, guys, okay? Because I have students that are as young as 17 years old that in their very first 6 weeks in business made $50,000, okay? From a complete flat start. They didn't have any background in marketing. They didn't have any sort of education as far as marketing skills goes, but they learned the real seven-figure formula on how to become the attractor factor, how to get people inquiring, incoming inquiries about your business, where either through Facebook or Skype or email, or sometimes people just opting into your lead capture page, going through this whole process and producing sales on the other side. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes here. And here we go. So, okay. So have no fear. The MLM superhero is here. Guys, that is sort of my handle on the internet. We talk a lot in Millionaire Mentoring about personal branding. Personal branding. The thing I'm going to share with you on tonight's broadcast is that if you really want to go 10x, if you really want to get to seven figures and beyond, the real true product in our industry is leadership. Okay, so you truly are the product. Okay, you are the product. The product is truly leadership. If you really want to make that type of an income where you make 50, 60, 100,000, I've had months where I've made as much as $165,000 in a single month by providing value to the marketplace. Now, tonight is going to be big. So what I want for you to do right now is I want you to turn off your distractions. I want you to turn off your Facebook, turn off your Messenger, your phone. If you have kids, shut the door, get in a quiet place, because you're going to want to have a pen and paper handy, and you're going to want to take notes during this broadcast. Now, I'm going to share with you tonight how I went from $0 to $43,000 in 30 days on Facebook without spending a single penny on paid ads. Now, keep in mind, now that the business has generated $43,000, right, with no paid marketing, now I actually have a budget that I can scale up my business. And that's what I want to share with you tonight, and exactly how it works, why it works, the psychology behind it, so that you can get a clear picture as to what you would have to do too if you wanted to make that type of an income. Now, this is a strategy called automation mastery. How do you actually build a business while having a life? Let's face it, most people work a full-time job. A lot of families have children. They've got 3 meals to make per day. They got pickups, they got drop-offs, they got ballet, karate, and they just don't have a lot of extra time, especially when they work a full-time job. What I'm going to share with you is how do you actually make a full-time income working on a part-time basis. Now, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Syndicate.tv online wealth creators, and we're in partnership with my.com business franchise. Now, I'm going to show you how I turn Facebook, literally, guys, into my personal ATM machine using the strategy called automation mastery. Now, if you stick around to the end of the broadcast, I'm going to give you a copy of my training manual. It's valued at $197, and I can share with you that it will literally fast track your career by at least 3 to 5 years in this industry. Plus, I'm going to give you a special surprise bonus that will completely shock you. So you're going to want to stick around to the end of the broadcast, but make sure that you have a pen and paper handy so that you can take some notes. So who exactly is Darren Little anyway, and why should you listen to me? Well, I'm a father of 1 son. That's my son, Drayson, right there. That was when he was about 16 years old, and he came to me And he said, Dad, can you show me what you do? Because he was staying in a private school. He was going to a military academy, and he wanted to be able to generate a little bit of extra cash flow for spending money, but he wasn't allowed to leave the academy. So he says, can you show me what to do on a part-time basis so that I can generate a little bit of extra cash flow? In his very first 2 weeks, keep in mind, he had school every day, he had homework every night, but he still made $2,069 in his very first 2 weeks in business. I'm what you would call a serial entrepreneur. I've launched more than 40 different products and services into the marketplace. Some of them have been name brands, household names, like bingo.com was my company that I launched, blackjack.com, Able Auctions. I've literally raised tens of millions of dollars in venture capital, both for private companies, public companies, my own companies. And I just launch a company. I raise the money for it. I hire the management team. I typically hire a CEO for my own company, and I take the marketing position. And then once it's rolled out, up and running, then I go do another one. I had my first multiple seven-figure year at the age of 35. And then I went on to make multiple millions of dollars, with my best year being almost $4 million in a single year. I've coached and I've trained thousands of people, both online and offline, to multiple six figures in a year and as high as 7 figures in a single year. Now, I came from very humble beginnings, guys. I mean, literally, I have the tech skills of a 2-year-old kid. I mean, I'm not kidding you when I tell you that. I still type to this day with 2 fingers. You know, I'm a chicken pecker typer, right? But I didn't let that stop me, right? So you got to take this illusion out of your head that you have to have some sort of grand tech skills, because you don't. I used what's called the Henry Ford model. So anything that I didn't know how to do myself, I just outsourced it. So whether that was graphics or whether that was, you know, setting up my autoresponder, a lot of that stuff I do not do personally myself. I just outsource it to the people that have the talent and skill. Literally, the first time that I tried setting up my own autoresponder, it took me about 3 weeks. And I had cold sweats at night, vertigo, dizzy spells, insomnia, and I realized that technical stuff was not for me. And it was better for me just to outsource it to other people that could literally do it in 1 hour, okay? 1 hour that would take me 3 weeks to try to do myself. So the secret to my success was getting millionaire mentors at a very, very young age. They put me on the fast track, and also being coachable and taking massive action. That is probably the hardest thing for people to do, quite honestly. So my marketing tip for you today is to be coachable, right? We have a specific formula that works. It's tried, tested, and proven. If I can help somebody that's completely homeless, okay, living on the couch of a friend's house, and in their 6th month have a $20,000 month. If I can help somebody that was living on their credit cards, buying groceries on their credit cards, and within their first year make $175,000 online, trust me, I can help you too. Now, right now, what I'm doing is I'm taking 100 families under my wing to help them add $100,000 to their annual incomes. That's sort of an example right there of a live and interactive broadcast that I do. I host these events. Sometimes they'll run for 3 hours, and they're very interactive. So if somebody has a question, they go live and they talk to me directly. So this is a very cool concept and strategy. Now, I want to share with you just a couple of major breakthrough stories. This is Jose and Jennifer, and they came to me. And they had 6 children. They're sort of the Brady Bunch. Jose has 3 kids. Jennifer has 3 kids, and they had an eviction notice. They were 2 days without any water. Now imagine what that might be like for you if you were right down rock bottom, and you had an eviction notice, you were on the verge of being homeless, and in their very first 12 months, they made $90,000. And this year, there's a high probability that they will double that type of an income. That's coming from people that were going to be evicted and homeless. This is a great story about Danny Joshi. He was $50,000 in debt when he first met me. His very first year online, he made $140,000 with Millionaire Mentoring. This is another great story. A lot of people ask me, Darren, will these strategies work for other types of businesses? You know, if I'm a realtor or a mortgage broker, an insurance agent, or in the automotive industry, how will these strategies work for me? Emily Ching is a realtor, and in 12 months in Millionaire Mentoring, she made an extra $120,000 in real estate commissions. Plus, now she's doing teaching, training. She's mentoring people in her office on social media and Facebook. And also she has an online business as well that created more income. But that's in an industry that's not necessarily having to do with specifically online marketing. That's just real estate. So these are transferable skills for any type of business. Now, this is Charlene Savage. She was living on her credit cards, buying her groceries, paying interest just to eat. When I put this broadcast together originally, she was at $160,000. She's now at $175,000 in her very first year, and she's a single mother. So imagine what it might be like being a single mom and having to pay interest just to eat. That's where she started off. And now, first year, $175,000. Now, this is a typical story here, guys, because Billy was one of the people that was listening to some of those seven-figure income earners telling him to upgrade and buy more traffic. He used up his entire savings account. He maxed out every credit card that he had, and he had to actually resort to starting to wash cars just to make a little bit of extra cash flow so he could feed his family. And his very first year, he made $140,000 on the internet. So very, very powerful. Now, what I want to cover here on tonight's broadcast is, why do most people fail online? What's the problem? Why do so many people fail? Here's why. The first thing is they don't have a lot of time to be able to run their business. They've never really taught the seven-figure secrets on how to create clone copies of themselves, so the clone goes to work for you instead of you having to physically work. So once you learn that, you create what's called leverage. Now, the next thing is that they don't know how to generate quality leads, right? And the big reason for that is they don't understand how to become the attractor factor, because they don't understand how to market to the pain of the prospect instead of marketing their primary business. Most people go out there and all they do is pitch their primary business to anybody that will listen, and they jam it down people's throats, right? Including their friends and family, if that's the business model that you've been taught. And I'm telling you, it does not work. They also don't understand the psychology of selling. What I do is I teach people how to actually build their business without having to harass their friends and family and without ever getting rejected. What would it be like for you if you knew that you could build a business without ever getting rejected? Okay, the strategy that I teach, it's absolutely impossible to get rejected once you understand the formula. They also don't know how to close and upsell their prospects to higher ticket products. So typically what happens is that even if they learn how to generate leads, so if they learned a formula on how to generate 20,000 leads or 100,000 leads, they still don't know how to close and upsell those people to higher ticket products, and they don't know how to recruit new reps. Okay. Now, if you want to make big money in our industry, either affiliate marketing, online marketing, network marketing, MLM, they're all the same straight across the board. The biggest money that you're going to make is truly through the power of team building. That's where you make the big money in this type of a business model. They also don't know what type of content to be able to create so that they're providing value and they're seen as a leader. Okay, and that's the key to our industry, is leadership. They also don't have enough cash flow to be able to run their business. So they're working within what's called a debt model instead of getting an asset, building that asset, and then having the business pay their marketing expenses, the business paying for their upgrades, right? So it's very, very a different type of sales model once you understand how to actually do this. And the biggest problem is they don't have a millionaire mentor. I say to people, you know, who's your millionaire mentor? And they go, well, my millionaire mentor is Tony Robbins, right? If you don't have Tony Robbins on speed dial, if you can't actually have a conversation with Tony Robbins or whoever it is on YouTube that you're claiming is your mentor, then you don't have a millionaire mentor, okay? Truth be known. They also just try and wing it on their own. And that is a very, very costly path because you really don't know whether what you're doing is even the right strategy or not. So people just kind of guess. So I kind of use this analogy of somebody offers you $10 million if you can walk 100 yards to get from one side of a minefield to the other side, right? Now, when they first say they'll give you $10 million, you probably get all excited. And then you find out that there's mines planted all the way across that field for 100 yards. You're probably going to be a little bit reluctant to want to walk across that minefield. But what if you're walking right behind a minesweeper? So somebody's going out in front of you with the minesweeper and you're just following right behind them all the way across that 100 yards. That's what it's like having a millionaire mentor. Now, here's what most people do. So the seven-figure income earners tell them to go all in, right? To, you know, max out their credit cards, to use up their entire savings account. So they invest all their own money. And some of these high-ticket products, guys, just so you know, can be $50,000 or $100,000. So they go into the hole. They use up everything. So now they got no money left. So what do? They have to actually learn free strategies. And the problem with that is that people don't tell you this. Without a millionaire mentor, there's about a 2 to 4 year learning curve, and you're risking more of your personal capital. So most companies have an auto ship per month, and then they tell you to go to 4 different events per year. So what ends up happening is that each one of those events might cost you anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 if you're a couple. And for those per year, times 2 to 4 years, you can see how that would add up really, really fast. And you're going further and further and further and further down the rabbit hole into debt. Now, what happens as a result of that? As a result of that, they never get to this point. They never make any money to be able to reinvest in the business. That's when I got the calls from people anywhere from $60,000 to $108,000 in debt, reaching out saying, Darren, can you help me? Now, here's the difference, guys. I'm going to show you right now what the seven-figure income earners do and why this formula is different. Typically, what the seven-figure income earners do is they have something on the front end. It's completely generic. It targets every single business that's out there, whether it's weight loss, skincare, nutraceuticals, power, energy drinks. It doesn't matter what your products are. If you have something on the front end that's going to provide value to the marketplace and solve the pain. Now, in this particular situation that I'm going to share with you tonight, what we do is we have something that every single business owner needs, but the difference is that it pays the same day that you sell it. You don't have to wait a month or as long as 3 months like some of these companies. I've waited as long as 3 months to get paid from companies. And in some cases, I've been never paid, right? So they stretch it out as long as they possibly can. And a lot of times you never even get your commissions. So this type of a business model, the business is now going to fund your high ticket products, and your ad campaign. This is what I call the Donald Trump model or the Robert Kiyosaki model. So you don't have any risk of more of your own personal capital. The business itself is funding your campaigns. The business is paying for those upgrades and the high ticket products. So what ends up happening is that you have multiple revenue streams and you rise to the top of the leaderboards in record time. Most of my students have between 5 and 10 different streams of income coming in once they understand how the 7-figure formula works. And it works the same every time. So on the front end, you're generating leads. Okay, on the front end, your front end product is paying back the cost of your ad costs and making you money. So in essence, you're building your list of qualified buyers for free, and the business is now funding everything. This is the true way to get to freedom, right? And that's to learn the 7-figure formula. Now, there are really only 5 things that you need to be able to make a full-time income working on a part-time basis. The first thing that you need is you need something that I call a high converting sales funnel or an offer. Okay, it's typically going to hit mass market. It's typically going to be something that's going to solve the pain of the marketplace. And it has to be something that has value. Value is the key, guys. Then what you need is you need traffic or eyeballs on that particular offer. And there's all sorts of strategies, you know, from Facebook to Facebook Live videos to Pinterest to Instagram to Snapchat to YouTube to blogging strategies. There's so many different marketing strategies. I typically tell my students, just pick one strategy that will become the thing that you focus on. Then what you need after that is you need an autoresponder that's going to do the follow-up campaign. Now, the power of an autoresponder is that you don't have to sit by your computer and email every single person that requests information. Once they opt in, they now get automatically sent an email. And they might get sent another email on day 2 or day 4 or day 7 or day 10, right? And you're building your list of qualified buyers, but you don't actually have to sit behind your computer. The autoresponder is going to do the follow-up campaign for you. Then, of course, a millionaire mentor to show you exactly what to do. And what I found from being in this industry for about 3 decades now is that as the price points start to get higher, okay, so once they move over $1,000, 1,000, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, $100,000, people battle something called the human condition. They don't feel worthy. They don't feel deserving. They don't love themselves. They don't have healthy boundaries in place. And they actually believe that nobody out there has any money. So right when it comes to getting the sale, they get really uncomfortable, and that actually broadcasts through to your prospect, and now they don't feel comfortable in buying from you. So we have actual sales coaches that do all of those upsell sales for you, right? So we teach you how to work the front end on how to generate leads, how to get people to take a very low ticket offer, and then once that happens, the coaches take it from there and they do those upsell sales for you. Now, this is something that what my millionaire mentor said to me. He said, Darren, you want to make 7 figures? I said, absolutely, I do. He said, how serious would you say that you are on a scale from 1 to 10? I said, I'm 100, right? He said, well, if you want to make 7 figures, you're going to have to surrender your pride, surrender your ego, and just be coachable. Right? So this is the one thing that if you really take this away today, there's a specific formula that we use. It's tried, tested, and proven. It's literally like just following the bouncing ball. You don't have to change anything. It works. It works for anybody, but you got to be coachable and you got to follow the strategy step by step. Now, what I want to do is I want to explain to you so that you can really get a picture and understand the concept of what a sales funnel actually is. Typically, there's something on the front called a lead magnet. The lead magnet has to be something of value that's free. And what it's going to do, it's going to build a list of qualified buyers. If you give people value on the front, they will opt in to find out what's behind door number one. Now, then you move to what's called a low ticket offer. In this particular case, the low ticket offer is $77, and you don't need a lot of sales of that to be able to make your marketing and advertising costs back. So let's say that I was to go out and buy 1,000 clicks or 1,000 qualified buyers, and out of that, anywhere from 45 to 75% of those people opt in. So now I've got between 450 and 750 leads. I don't need a lot of sales to be able to recruit my ad cost or my ad spend. So you should actually be able to build your list of qualified buyers for free or at a profit, right? If you use this particular type of strategy. Then your autoresponder is going to do the follow-up campaign. And this is where the coaches kick in. So the coaches actually do the sales for you that pay $1,500 commissions. And that's really this is kind of like the pinnacle point, guys, to be honest with you, because you don't have to do those sales. They do those sales for you. And they also offer an optional financing plan. So what we want to be able to do is to teach you this part right here, right? The cool thing here is the lead magnets are already provided. The low ticket $77 offer is already provided, and the autoresponder sequence campaign is already pre-written for you. So they've done sort of all the heavy lifting in the situation, and then they take over here and they do the rest of that for you. And that's really the cool thing. This is how I was able to wake up some days to, 3,000, 6,000. The best day that I had when I was in Maui was $9,000 in sales while I was actually getting a suntan by the pool. Now, there's two things that you must have. If you do not have these two things, you cannot be successful in any business. Even if you're a chiropractor or a massage therapist, or you own a nightclub or a lounge or a hotel or a motel, without these two things, your company will actually go bankrupt, okay? If you do not have a steady stream of people that are interested in what you have, and you don't have cash flow to be able to sustain your monthly overhead, you're in big trouble, okay? You need a steady stream of leads, and you need a steady stream of cash flow. Now, what's the answer to that? How do you do that? You do that through millionaire mentoring. You do that through learning the 7-figure formula on how to provide value to the marketplace on the front end so that the business starts generating cash flow for you and funds itself, so to speak, instead of using your credit cards and your savings account. Now, how do you get eyeballs onto your offer? Well, there's a couple things that you can do. The first thing is you obviously need a lead magnet, something that has value, but you have to combine that with the right type of copy, the right type of words, right, that speak to your buyers. They speak to the pain of the marketplace, and then they provide a solution to their problem, okay? Very, very important. So you can use free strategies. I use mostly Facebook and Facebook Lives. And also I show people how to set up different groups in particular niches, like personal development is truly our business model. So just with one personal development group, I generated almost 5,100 leads just from that one personal development group. So those are free strategies. And then you can also move into paid strategies, things like solo ads, which is like piggybacking off of somebody else's list to be able to generate your list. You can also use Facebook ads or banners or even offline strategies like magazines or, newspapers or printed material as well. So the paid strategies can be both online and offline. And there's people that have mastered all the strategies, right? So you just got to pick one that you feel comfortable with. We typically recommend when you first start into paid strategies, solo ads are pretty much your guarantee to be able to get good quality leads of buyers because they've already opted into somebody else's list. Now, the thing that we typically recommend is a combination. You start off with free strategies, but then you're going to, let's say that you make 10 grand, you would typically take about 20% of that and now start reinvesting it into building your list of qualified buyers, right? But the business is paying for it, not your credit cards and not your savings account. But the key to really making it big and making 7 figures plus is really in the value that you provide to the marketplace. So I always say value, and more value. The strategy that I use is to provide 10 times the value of whatever my entry price is prior to a person even joining me, and 100 times the value after they join my team, right? And that's a great strategy. Now, the reason that we've partnered with the My.com business is that it's a completely turnkey franchise. So they provide you with everything. So all the sales funnels have all been pre-tested, their banners, their marketing materials, their follow-up campaigns, everything has already been pre-tested. So you don't have to go make anything. It's already made for you. So you can see on the right-hand side there, there's a variety of different banners that you might put on a blog or use on a Facebook post, right? To be able to generate your qualified buyers list. Now, this is something that is very unique in the marketplace. You've probably seen these little entertaining videos where there's either a narration or music. And as the narration's happening and the words come on, there's a little hand that's sketching it out. And it really engages your audience. So it doesn't matter. You could be a realtor, mortgage broker, insurance, automotive industry, MLM, affiliate marketing. It doesn't matter what it is that your type of a business you're in. This is what I would call a unique and different lead magnet, okay? And when you can give this away for free, people get a huge amount of value from it, and that helps you to build your list of qualified buyers. So this is the lead magnet that I use. There's a variety of them that are already pre-made, but this is the one that I've gotten the most response from so far to build my list of qualified buyers. Now, so all this stuff has been pre-tested, guys. So in marketing, it's typically about testing and tweaking, but they've already done all that. They already know that the sales funnels convert. They've already know that the lead magnets convert as high as 75%, right? So when you have material that works already, you don't have to try and reinvent the wheel, right? So it saves you a lot of the heavy lifting. And all of the follow-up emails for your autoresponder are all pre-written, so they're all pre-tested, right? So there's no guesswork. They also have all the promotional materials that are pre-tested, and then the sales coaches do the closing and the upsells for you. Now, in the event that you actually were to become a franchise member, they guarantee you 200 people in your downline as part of your franchise, okay? And that sort of gives you that little boost when you first get started in your business, because you already have people coming into your business and starting to purchase the low ticket offer. And once that happens, the sales coaches take over for you and they do the follow-up. Now, the cool thing as well is that they offer optional financing. So the business is really, it's really run tight. It's really run like a tight ship. And all the heavy lifting of your business is done by My.com business franchise. So that's very powerful. Now, what I'm going to share with you here on tonight's broadcast, guys, is that I've been an entrepreneur since I was in my early 20s. 30 years now that I've been an entrepreneur rolling out different companies, products, and services. And I will share with you that 95% on whether or not you're going to succeed or fail in business is going to be all in your mind, okay? Whatever you believe to be true for you will be true. So the question is, what do you believe? If you believe it will be hard, it will always be hard. If you just trust this process and believe that it will be easy, it will always be easy. So the question is, what do you believe? Now, what would it be like for you if you learned how to roll out a campaign and in a 5-day period of time, you could make over $24,000? What would that do for your family, knowing that all your bills were paid? Literally, all your bills were paid for the month, right? In the very first 5 days of the month. And all of that was done. That's all profit. I didn't spend any money on paid traffic. That's all just from providing value to the marketplace. What if in 4 days, you could generate $36,951.41? That is actually a screen capture right from my back office in my PayPal account. And you can see there that on the 2nd of May in 2017, that was almost $30,000 that came in on that particular day. So, you know, you're learning the actual 7-figure formula that I use. What if you knew what to do in 14 hours online to make $17,547.77? This is what's possible, guys. I want to share this with you because these are actual screenshots right from my PayPal back office to give you an idea of what's possible. Now, this was actually the best month that I ever had. This was back last summer. Not this summer we just finished, the previous summer before that. But in 1 month, in 30 days from zero, I made $165,058.87. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I didn't work hard that month because I really did. But after that, I booked a first-class ticket and I took off to Manila and I went for 2 months. Okay, 2 months. Just took off to the other side of the world. And the power is that you can take your business with you. As long as you have a laptop computer and a Wi-Fi connection, you can work from anywhere. If you want to work by the pool, you want to work in a coffee shop, if you want to work in a restaurant. I've actually been in situations before just using my phone, right? Using Messenger on Facebook, where I've been in a lineup at a restaurant waiting to get a table, and I've been earning $1,000 commissions while I'm in the line, right? And I've had situations where I've been with people and we're all sitting around in the front waiting for the table to happen. And I all of a sudden, you know, here's me like, I'm like, yes. And they're like, what? And I go, oh, I just made $1,000 on the internet. And I'm like, what? Right? That's the power once you learn these strategies. So my question to you is, what if you no longer had any credit card debt? You were completely clear of all bills on your credit card. What if you no longer had any mortgage payments? You were debt-free on mortgage. What if you no longer had any car payments? Your cars were all free and clear. What if you no longer had to worry about paying your bills? And you could get up in the morning and literally while you were sleeping, make more money than you've made working at your full-time job while you were sleeping. What if you no longer had to set your alarm clock, right? You could go to bed whenever you felt tired and get up whenever you felt rested. What if you were in a position where you no longer had to deal with traffic every day, right? A lot of people spend an hour, 2 hours each way being stuck in traffic. What if you no longer had a boss telling you what to do? What if you could travel the world anytime you wanted for however long that you wanted because you can take your business anywhere with you? What if you no longer had to look at prices on a menu? If you just wanted to order something, you wanted to order steak and lobster or a bottle of wine or something, and you didn't have to keep on looking at the prices on a menu? What if you could spend more time with your family and the people that you really love? That's actually one of the reasons why people want freedom, just so you know, because they want to be able to spend time with their friends and family and be able to really experience adventure and travel and go see things that they've never seen before on the other side of the world. Now, would you be okay with that lifestyle, guys? Would that be okay for you? Because that's me right there in 2 weeks of the month in Maui, chilling out on the beach, and while my online business was actually making money for me. And that's really the power here, is learning how to create leverage through the power of the internet. Because here's the cool thing, the internet never sleeps. When you go to bed, the internet is still running, right? And people are logging on all over the world, and that's how you can actually start making money while you're sleeping. Now, what I want to do here today is, I actually did this just about 3 weeks ago or so, where I did 3 hours of millionaire mentoring, okay? 3 straight hours. And I recorded that particular broadcast because it really sets the foundation for what you need to do, the psychology behind it, how it works, why it works. And this is something that if somebody was to actually hire me to do this, that is $3,000. It's $1,000 per hour for me to give away all of these secrets. Now, here's what I cover in this training. What you will learn is how to build a business without having to harass your friends and family. If you've been told to make a list of your top 200, friends and family contacts and harass them with your business and do 3-way phone calls and invite people over for home parties, I'm going to teach you how you don't have to do any of that to be able to make more money than you've ever dreamed that you could possibly make without having to go to those people and harass them. What if you learned how to completely eliminate getting rejected in your business? What if you could build your business without ever getting rejected ever again? And I can tell you that that's one of the people's biggest fears, is getting rejected. It actually will cripple them in their business. What if you learned the strategy on how to never get rejected ever again? What if you knew how to generate an unlimited number of leads for any business? Using the strategies on Facebook, I've been able to generate over 50,000 red hot targeted leads for my business. Now, keep in mind, once you have a list of qualified buyers, you can send that list different offers, and that's how you end up with multiple streams of income. Once you learn the strategy, they're completely transferable skills into any business. What if you learned how to close and upsell to higher ticket products, right? Because this is really the power of this. Once you understand this formula, it doesn't matter what the number is or the amount is for the product. The key is in the value that you provide to the marketplace. That's the key. That's the key to being able to close and upsell to higher ticket products, is what value do you provide as a leader? What if you learned how to get explosive team duplication? First learning the strategies yourself and then leveraging that knowledge to be able to build the team and then teach other people to do what you've just learned how to do. What if you knew how to actually raise the money for your marketing and advertising budget using the 7-figure formula, so you didn't have to keep on going deeper and deeper in credit card debt? And what if you could actually raise the money for your high ticket products? So instead of me, as an example, going out and spending $50,000 or $100,000, I use the 7-figure model in that one launch, where the very first 30 days I made $165,000. I didn't spend any money on paid ads, guys, just so you know. That was all profit. But now the business is going to fund my campaign. Okay, not my credit cards, not my savings account. This is the difference once you learn the 7-figure formula. Now, that is a $3,000 value that 3 hours of millionaire mentoring right there. And what we as well do is we're going to give you 30 people in your personal downline and give you your own personal sales coach, okay, to be able to get your business into liftoff and get you into traction and get you to start making money. Now, here's what we're doing. This is a one-time payment. You don't have to, there's no auto ship. You don't have to keep on paying over and over and over. It's a one-time payment of $77 that gives you access to the $3,000 bonus of the Millionaire Mentoring. And there's only 47 spots left, guys, just so that you know. And they go super fast when I do these campaigns. So remember, you get a $3,000 Super Saturday bonus. And the deadline, if you really want to change your life and 10x your income, is Friday, March 30th at midnight Pacific. Plus, if you take action right now, you'll get 30 people guaranteed in your downline by my.com business. Okay, it's a phenomenal offer, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. It is a phenomenal offer to learn the 7-figure formula without having to pay thousands of dollars. So you get all the funnels, you get all the lead magnets, you get all the follow-up campaign, you get your personal sales coach, you get 3 hours of millionaire mentoring, and you get 30 people that are guaranteed in your personal downline to be able to start your business into traction. So now's truly the chance to be able to create freedom for you and your family. And I can tell you that if I can help somebody go from completely homeless, right, living on the couch of a friend's house, and in month 6, make 20 grand. Think about that sort of transformation. And a couple years after that, that particular gentleman became the CEO of his own network marketing company, right? The homeless guy, right? So that's the power of millionaire mentoring. So once you learn these strategies, I can tell you this, and I don't say this lightly, but if you're coachable and if you just follow the bouncing ball, you will literally never have to worry about money ever again for the rest of your life. Okay, and I'm not kidding you. Spots go super fast with this, guys. So what you want to do is you want to get back to the person that invited you here. There's only 47 spots left. In the event that you're on my particular broadcast page and I've invited you to this broadcast, you can click the link below and take action to be able to get one of those spots. In the event that you've been invited here by somebody else, make sure that you do the right thing and you reach back out to them so that you tell them that you're interested in taking action and take it from there. So once again, keep in mind, there's only 47 spots left. And I can tell you when I roll out these campaigns, these spots go super fast. And truthfully, $77, a lot of people will go out and spend that in dinner. Okay, this is something that can truly, totally transform your life forever. Now, one of the things I promised you that I would give you is a copy of my training manual. It's valued at $197. You can go to mlmsuperhero.com and be able to get a copy of that. So in the event that you showed up to tonight's broadcast and you're either in a state of transition or you've reached a breaking point in your life, you know that you want the dream. You know that you have that vision of freedom. Throw your hat over the wall, guys. Trust this process. Truthfully, I wish I had this type of information 30 years ago when I first got started in this industry. I sort of had to learn through the school of hard knocks, to be honest with you. But now I share all of that information so you don't have to go through that pain and suffering like I did for 3 decades to be able to get to this point right now. So what I want to do right now is I want to just reach back out to my troop here. And I want to just share a couple quick stories here with you guys. I want to, first of all, pull out Andy Bimji. Andy, if you can just share with us a little bit, first of all, where are you from? How old are you? What's your background? Where did you come from? And talk to us a little bit about what was your reality like over here prior to going through Millionaire Mentoring? And then what's it like over here now after you've gone through some of these trainings from Super Saturday?
Sure. Just want to check, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Hi, everyone watching. My name is Andy Bimji. I am 28 years old and I live in London. So 28 years old. I've been working as an employee for a good seven years, and I was working as an employee doing a lot of studying. So I was just very much in that real hardcore employee mindset. And then maybe like about a year ago, something just shifted in my mindset. I just wanted something else, like Darren was talking about. Like, I just wanted a bit of a change. I didn't know what it was, but it ended up being network marketing brought to me a whole shift of mindset. And I was just completely in. Like, I didn't see any questions about it. I loved the prospect of it. And I thought, wow, I've never heard of this before. I can't wait to tell everyone about it, right? And so I did. And like I thought I'm a respectable guy. I got a lot of value, I thought, but apparently not, in terms of, everyone just shot me down. Maybe was I so overexcited? I genuinely was, but people did just shoot me down. They actually really, really gave me a go. Like, what are you doing? What are you wasting your time and all this for? And, like that was the first experience I had of entrepreneurship in terms of exposure to it. I didn't realize there was all this other stuff in the online world, in the affiliate world. And, in the network marketing company, I didn't make any sales, I'll be honest, right? I didn't really know what I was doing. I was following mentors that also, I guess, didn't know so much what they were doing in terms of, compared to how I obviously learned for the 7-figure formula. But, there was no front end offer. It was all like, very high ticket stuff to really get started. And whilst I was okay with that, I know that others weren't. So I wanted to find a new model, but I didn't want to just go in it alone, because I know there's clearly, like, I think 95% failure rate within the industry. And, I want to make money as well. I don't just want to be there the whole time, just doing marketing. So I understand you do need a high ticket at some point. And I did start with that then, but it's very hard to sell a high ticket product. Like, it just takes so much time, because you have to build so much value within a relationship for someone to only pay you that. And I'm not a salesperson, I never have been. So that was very difficult. Then I understood, okay, I need some mentoring, like real mentoring, where, someone that I have so much confidence in, that's just gonna, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be safe, as long as obviously I take action, because, there are risks there, but the biggest risk is yourself. And again, if I didn't have a millionaire mentor, I wouldn't have that ingrained mindset, because even within the mindset, there's a 7-figure kind of mindset there as well, right? So I had mentoring session, and within 1 week, I made two $3,000 sales. And that's a massive achievement for myself, I'd say, because, there's such massive numbers, but I didn't have to do any of the selling, which is amazing, right? So, just learn the true secrets in terms of what really, really does work, that you don't get told anywhere else. And once you have this kind of power and knowledge, you just feel so powerful. It's amazing. I keep reaching back out to Darren, be like, I'm so ready for this level. I'm so ready for this level. And when Darren says, definitely attainable, my friend, and he's so calm. I just feel amazing. So,
So let me ask you this, Andy, just to quickly recap on it. So what you're saying is that you went through that Super Saturday that we had, and within 1 week, you did $6,000 in sales your very first week.
Yeah, honestly, because yeah, is that enough to say? I feel like saying so much about it, but no, honestly, like it's so empowering. It's not just that, it's once you really understand how, and you unlearn, what you're used to thinking before, it's actually very simple. And I want to stay grounded so that I make sure I stay consistent in my growth. but I know I'm on the right track. And honestly, it's because I got the right mentoring. I think there's a lot of people out there who get mentoring, and those mentors are very good at getting their results. But Darren, you teach so well that we actually get it, and that we actually become the right best version of ourselves as well, right? Rather than we just learn how to copy what you do, which I really appreciate.
Fantastic. Well, great job and continued success. Super proud of you, pal. Super proud of you. First week, guys, $6,000 in sales when he struggled all that time and he didn't make any money. He didn't make any sales before. Very first week, he did $6,000 in sales. Standing ovation, brother. Standing ovation. Yeah. Okay, guys, I want to reach out to Seth Collett right now. Guys, I got to tell you, this is really a cool thing, because the one thing that I talk about over and over and over is surrendering your pride, surrendering your ego, and just being coachable. And I remember doing a Facebook Live talking about the importance of personal branding, right? Where you're really the product. The product is leadership, just so you know. And Seth watched the video and he says, I'm going to do that tonight. Okay. And I got to be honest with you, I thought he was kind of kidding when he said, I'm going to have that done tonight. Right. And lo and behold, right, that night, I looked on his Facebook wall, full branding, right? It looks like he's already a 7-figure income earner. He's got a logo designed. He's went out and did some digital photography and made a beautiful cover picture, and phenomenal. Okay. That's what's called an action taker, right? You don't have to hold their hand all the way along. Are you okay? Oh, are you okay? Right? That's not what Seth did. He said, that's where I'm going. Bam, and he took immediate action. So Seth, talk to us a little bit about what was happening prior to getting that 3-hour Super Saturday and what's happened after that.
Hey, Darren. Well, for me, the journey was like, when I started out in the online world a few months ago, I honestly felt completely overwhelmed, completely lost. There's so many people and there's so many gurus and opportunities, and everyone who's got the tickets, the so-called ticket to the promised land. And I bounced around from quite a few different opportunities, kind of just trying to find my way and figuring out what exactly I need to do. And it left me quite overwhelmed, like super overwhelmed, confused by what direction to take, and am I spending my time doing the activities that are going to actually bring me income? And what I actually found out beforehand, before attending the Super Saturday bonus, is that a lot of the activities I was spending my time doing was actually wasting my time. And it wasn't actually getting me closer to my success. And after the training and after your mentorship and learning your techniques and your skills and the strategies that actually do work. And I mean, it's only been 2 weeks since we started the Millionaire Mentoring, and I must say, like, my whole page is transformed. My interactions with people have transformed. I've generated more leads than ever. People that are actually starting to see me as someone who actually has that ticket and can guide them to their promised lands, because they can see the change within me. They are starting to notice, now, obviously learning the skills from me, I've started to do my first webinar, which I've never done a webinar before, and if it wasn't for that kind of that guidance and just kind of pushing us to step more into our own leadership and more into our own power, that would have never been possible. So super thank you for everything. And coachability is a big thing. For me, it was just like, what is the point of doing this training if I'm not going to listen and implement everything you're saying? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about learn, implement, share, learn, implement, share. So it's just about, taking action on what you've shared with us, and super grateful for for everything. So thank you so much.
Fantastic, Seth. So proud of you, bro. Guys, I'm telling you this. You just gotta trust the process. Seriously, trust the process. You've obviously shown up here tonight for a reason, right? And typically, just so you know, most people, okay, the majority of the people that get into our type of industry, they're either in a state of transition right now in their life, or they've reached a breaking point in their life where they've just finally said, enough is enough, right? Do you know that the average North American family only makes $3,000 to $5,000 a month? True story, okay? Transition, breaking point, or a combination of both. And truth be known, okay, truth be known, that if you're that person that is in a combination between those two things, you actually have the highest possibility of going to the top, because that's truly the time when you become coachable. True story, okay? When you are in a state of transition, you've reached a breaking point, that's when the ego will drop, when you truly become coachable, and you will just follow the bouncing ball. So guys, I'm fired up right now. I'm excited for you. All I can tell you is this: throw your hat over the wall, click the link below. We're talking about literally the cost of a dinner out, and you're going to be able to get 3 hours of that Super Saturday and all of the formula, all of the funnels, all of the lead magnets, all of the follow-up campaign, plus 30 people guaranteed in your personal downline. So throw your hat over the wall, click that link, or get back to the person that invited you to this broadcast and say, I want in. Thanks a lot for joining us on this exclusive and private VIP broadcast. My name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and have a great day. All the best.